Hello, everyone. I assume that you are all excellent. Okay, welcome to this lesson.
Thank you, Adelaide. I'm excellent, and I assume you are too, and that everyone is.
Yes, we are. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank
Good.
you,
I'm
Adelaide.
I'm glad you are, Alessandra.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, that's wonderful. And yes, I am excellent as well. Thank you. Okay, doke. All right, that's wonderful. Okay, that's good. I want to share the screen, so a moment. All right, can you see the screen, please? We're on chapter 4 now. Okay, so like we did yesterday, you can use the chat to interact with me. All right, that's wonderful. And we're going to go through this lesson again. Now, I I want you to understand this is a very practical course. Like what we did yesterday, we saw our feeling, warmth, naturalness. So these different concepts you've heard in different times and under different contexts, how they actually in a very simple manner in the name of God, in your name. And now it's the law of creation. That's how all things are made. All right. And also we looked at what it means to name things. It's like to get really specific, very, very exact, as much as possible. So I mean, there was one time someone asked Neville, which one would he rather do? Would he just like imagine a very specific thing, or would he like imagine a broad idea of things, all things being well and wonderful? And Neville said he always goes for the specific, but if anyone wants to do the general, that's fine. I know I would answer that, but I also know why I would answer that would be to say, okay, well, sure, sure, you're actually free to do anything you want to do. But that is if you're not willing to hear what I want to say, which is for you to be specific. But if you're willing to hear what I've got to say, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay, so I'm not imposing on you. However, if you really would like how to know how I would do it, I would go specific. And that was, of course, his polite way, of answering it. And lots of people share stories of how, I just assumed all is well in my world and yeah, all became well. But that's one thing. Another thing is to then go, this is what I want in wellness, in my health, this is what I want in wellness, in my finances, and really specify and imagine it. When that happens, you're going to be so thrilled in this world. It's the thrill, the joy of it is much more than that of the generic. Okay, well, now that we've brushed up on some of our lessons from yesterday, we're going to move on to the next lesson today, and that is the secret of feeling. So, is this so important? Yes, because we just saw that feeling is, in fact, the secret of creation. Do you remember we saw that? Yeah, right? See, the secret of creation is what? This feeling there, to feel the presence. That is the secret of creation. Now, we want to look at the secret of feeling. And if you ask me, I would say that's so important then. And also, I want you to, if you've been like, okay, I'm in a learning phase, chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, I want you to meet this lesson today with the attitude that now I'm in a doing phase. Okay, what does that mean? That means you want to go, okay, I won't let this particular moment pass me by unless I apply it to definite success. Like I demand results from myself. Yeah, there may still be some more lessons to go, but at this point, I demand to have results. I demand to have outcomes. I did that. Okay. I went, okay, this is all nice and beautiful, thrilling information, but What I want is more than the excitement. I want actual results and I want them now. And that happened. So let's get into it. The secret of feeling, or the calling of the invisible into visible state. Hold on. The secret of feeling. Then we have one word, or. This or attends to feeling because it's like the secret of feeling or the calling of. So feeling is the same as the calling of the invisible into visible states, which means if you feel, you're essentially calling an invisible state into visible. Do you understand this? You've got to appreciate this insight. Like, okay, if I feel, what I'm doing is I'm calling an invisible state into visible. That's what it is. So the secret of feeling is the same as the secret of calling the invisible state into visible. If you close your eyes and you imagine a state, it's invisible. Now you feel it, actually, it must happen. You know the secret when in fact it happens. You know the secret of feeling then. All right, so let's look at the secret of feeling. It is recorded that Isaac was old and blind, felt that he was about to leave this world, and wishing to bless his first son Esau before he died, sent Esau hunting. Now Jacob, who desired the birthright or right to be born through the blessing of his father, overheard his father's blind request of blessing. And so as Esau went hunting for the venison, Jacob killed and dressed the kid of his father's flock, placing the skins upon his smooth body to give him the feel of his hairy and rough brother Esau. Take note, please. He brought the tastily prepared kid to the blind father, Isaac. And Isaac depended solely upon the sense of feel, solely upon the sense of feel, mistook his second son, Jacob, for his first son, Esau, and pronounced his blessing on Jacob. Okay? When Esau returned from the hunt, he learned that his smooth-skinned brother Jacob had supplanted him. So he appealed to his father for justice, but Isaac answered and said, "Your brother came with subtlety and has taken away your blessing. I've made him your lord, and all his brethren I have given to him for servant." Whoa. Okay. One thing I want us to take a look at it before we go. Okay, just note it. Isaac was old and blind. Okay, Isaac was old and blind. Just to see how that matters later on. Now, simple human decency should tell man that this story cannot be taken literally. It's not only simple human decency, even um, a simple, careful appreciation of the text. Okay, because how hairless must a person be for them to have to clothe themselves with the skin of an animal? And how hairy must a person be for it to be that the skin of a of a lamb, the hair of a lamb is what would give someone else the feel of touching them. Do you understand what that question is? How hairless must a person be for you to have to like, okay, yeah, it's so hairless. You want to give the impression of being hairy to someone. Okay, you know what? Let's just put some animal skin on you, and then the skin, the hair of the animal could be your hair for that time of masquerading it. And how hairy must the person be, in this case Esau, for that to actually work? So obviously, okay, obviously, it's not a literal story. It's what you would experience in your dream. Like you could just go, yeah, you know what, Olivia, I had a dream last night. Okay, what was the dream? Yeah, I saw this man, and it was like this. He has two sons. You know, the first son has so much hair. It's like an animal's air. The second one is just so airless, total, just skin, no air. And you know what happened? Okay, it's actually a story you could tell me, right, as a dream. But in the literal physical sense, no, that doesn't happen. I mean, in a very literal, typical sense. Now, I'm not saying that it's not an impossible experience to actually witness something like that occurring physically. What I am saying is, when people go, but that actually happened, you'd find they are the same people who don't believe in the impossible, are so willing to accept that the exaggerated possibilities in the Bible are actually literally true. And I just go, but you're not even willing to believe in the impossible things today. Okay, I tell you I want to be a billionaire, and you go, nah, come, that's unrealistic. But you're willing to believe that someone, okay, someone had to wear the skin of an animal for clothes to be airy for his father. Okay. But the father who actually knows what it feels like to touch the skin of an animal, for that matter. And you don't see that to be a non-literal expression. Okay, so yeah, let me see some comments in the chat. Scott says specific, like this is in chapter 1 of Powerful Awareness. Even in the phenomena of nature, if the tree were articulate, it would say, I am a tree, an apple tree, a fruitful tree. That's correct. Okay, now I am in a doing phase for definite success. Yes, yes, that's the attitude I want you all to have. Grant says, wow, Jacob, so much for honor your father and your mother. He's honoring that. Okay. Actually, I always got upset by that story when I took it literally, and Scott he honored his own. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's go back to it. Now, there's a message here actually, just like Neville was saying, there must be. There actually is a message contained in this text. Now, what's the message? That message is the secret of feeling. The father, remember, if you look in any of these stories and you find the father is God. That's always the father. Okay? And that's you. You. Unconditioned consciousness, unconditioned awareness, that's the father. And that's Isaac in this case. But it was also represented as old and blind. Now I want you to look at yourself. When were you born? And just think of it. Go back to the time like, oh, I was born, okay, this XYZ number of years ago. Now I want you to re-evaluate the estimate of your own self, particularly the estimate of your age, by realizing that you are the ancient of days, because that's what being old actually means. All right, in this biblical story. Now, you go, I was born 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. And now you realize, okay, hold on, let me take a step back and reevaluate, come to my senses. And if I were in my senses, my divine senses, I would recognize that, in fact, I'm the Ancient of Days. Yes, you are the Ancient of Days. Okay? So, being the Ancient of Days, how does that adjust the way you approach life? The way you approach your dreams? Like they're impossible. I mean, if you were the Ancient of Days, would they seem like absolute impossibilities to you? No, not anymore. Okay? Yes, you are the Ancient of Days. You are the old Isaac. And also blind. Okay? Obviously, you can see. If you close your eyes, in fact, you would see things. You can see the invisible state. But we're using this to represent that he is blind to, he is unable. The blind here is not about what he could see. The blind is that he is unable to tell the difference between what is imagined and what is actual. Okay? Actual meaning this physical world. Okay? So, and imagining, of course, meaning the world within. So, your imagination, you are unable to tell the difference between what is imagined and what is actual. You act on either information and you're moved by any of those two just in the same way. Which means, for example, if I were to imagine someone, if someone were to actually say to me, "Hey, Adelere, I sent you, I paid $50,000 right now." If someone were to actually say that, I'd be, "Yeah, good. I got $50,000 in." Now, if I would imagine that that's happening, I would have the same sensation as I would have in the actual sense. Even though it's actually not happening, I would have the same sensation and I would not be able to tell the difference. Like, I couldn't say, "Oh, that's just imaginal. It's not real. It's fake. It's false. It's untrue," and then go about my life without that reaction of happiness. If I were to really imagine it, that's the point. I have to really imagine it. But if I were to really imagine it, I couldn't then stop myself from the reaction or the feeling I would have as I would have if I were to physically experience it. And just so you to really like nail it so you can know this is a natural phenomenon you go through. Do you recollect those times when you like step into a room that has dim lights and you're seeing some strange figures on the wall cast by a shadow, maybe on the wall, or maybe yeah, let's just use on the wall. And it's a strange figure, but it's a shadowy figure, and it looks like it's looming over you. And you know what feeling you have in that moment, right? Like the feeling of, yeah, like what's in the room? Okay. And then you turn on the light and boom, there's nothing there. Right? There's actually nothing there. It's imagined. The reason you had the fear was because you imagined that thing was going to harm you or hurt you, or like it meant some danger to you. And it's just imaginary. But you couldn't stop yourself from reacting to it anyway, even though it's just imaginary. That's the Isaac we're talking about. Like, it's so blind, it couldn't tell the difference. So we don't have to um, make or mark a difference anymore between this is the actual thing or that's imaginal. All we've got to do then is to arrange the imaginal thing like we would like the actual one to be. And why do we want to do that? We'll see now. Okay. Esau is the airy son. That is your present objectified world, the rough or sensibly felt. Now, so far as we've been looking at the law of creation, the name of God, what we've seen so far, okay, in all of that is the inner world, the subjective. But this time around, we're looking at the objective coming into play at first. Like, I am that I am. Okay. So I am that I am. There's nothing objective yet until the last part, right? So when we looked at this and we examined it, we're looking at subjective, subjective, subjective. Like I am, unconditioned consciousness, subjective. That the desired idea, subjective. And then I am now the externalization of it, right? But now we're looking at this story and we can see Esau come into play first, and Esau is objective and it's coming to play first. So we want to know why that as we go on. Then finally, Jacob is the smooth skinned lad, the second son. This is your desire or subjective state. All right. This is your desire or the subjective state. It's an idea that is yet to be embodied. A subjective state which is perceived and sensed, but not objectively known or seen. A point in time and space removed from the present. So think of it in any of these ways to grasp an understanding of how to deal with all of them. Now, Esau, the hairy son, is the present moment, like right now. I want you to bring your attention and focus it on the present moment, like right now, and become immensely aware of your immediate environment. That's Esau. Another word, the present environment. That's Esau. And I mean in a very, very point in time and space manner. Like I am right here, right now. This is before me, that is to my side, this is behind me, this is above me, that's below me. Okay, these are the things that surround me. This is my present environment. Because that particular place you are is actually imagined before it became now what you call an actual fact, like the very spot you are in right now. It's your present conception of yourself. In short, the world you know by reason of your objective senses. That is all. Now to Jacob. This is an idea that's not yet embodied, a subjective state, which is perceived and sensed. Okay, right now, right here, as you are in the present moment, are you perceiving an idea that's not yet embodied? Are you? If your answer is yes, then well, you have a Jacob. You have the second son, the son of God. A point in time and space removed from the present. So, okay, can you go with everything that is in my environment in the present, like up and down, left and right, above, before and behind? Okay, can I look and then say the idea that I am perceiving and sensing in my mind that is subjective, that's just in my consciousness. That particular idea is actually far removed from my present? The answer is yes, it is. And yes, you can tell it is. Yes, you can tell it's in a point in time and space that is not in the immediate present. The immediate present is your time and space that contains your current objectified world, and that doesn't include Jacob. So Jacob is your defined objective. Time. Do you want to identify a particular time that's in defining the objective? Because your defined objective, but a point in time and space. So for example, like May 17th, like next Friday, like Wednesday, like my next birthday, like my next anniversary, like the next Christmas, like the first day of next month, like 3 years from now. That's a point in time that is removed from your present moment, right? Now, a point in space, like another car in the garage, okay? Like new diamond jewelry set or new gold set in my closet, like another house, which we have the document of in our safe, like $3 million in cash in my closet. Okay, like that. It's a point in space. Like those things take up space. Do you understand? You want to be married? You want to be happily married? Well, there's going to be a ring on your finger. That's a space. It takes up that space. You want to have a great ceremony on your marriage, on your wedding. Okay, your wedding. Well, then there's going to be cake. It takes up space. There's going to be people. They take up space. So a point in space. These things imply the wishes for people. You want to have a second car? Well, yeah. Or a third car or a fourth car? Well, it takes up space. And you know, the way that a Lamborghini takes up space, it's not the same way that a Tesla takes up space. They don't shape the same way. They're not shaped the same way. And they're built differently. So different kind of space. And I mean space in the sense like every single step of the point of environment around you. If I place a piece of cloth on the floor, it's gonna be different from if I place a spoon on the floor. They actually take up, it's the same floor, but they take up different kind of space. And I want you to be really exact, like narrow your attention down to these distinctions. And I've called it to you before. What it means is discriminating. Okay? That's discriminating. Um, okay, great. So let's continue. The smooth-skinned Jacob, or subjective state, seeking embodiment or the right of birth, when properly felt or blessed by his father, becomes objectified, and in doing so, it supplants the rough, airy Esau or the former objectified state. Now that is simply the secret in the story. That's the secret, and all I want to do now is to see how this secret works or how we can actually work it. Okay? The smooth skinned Jacob, the subjective state, seeking embodiment or the right of birth, when properly felt or blessed by his father, when consciously felt and fixed as real, like the father had. "Oh, you sound like Esau." Yeah, oh, I know this is imaginary. It's just all in my imagination. But you feel. Oh, that you sound like Jacob, rather. You sound like Jacob. Okay, yeah, it's all imagination. It's just in the mind. But you feel like Esau. You're so actual. Oh my God, it's so real. It's so physical. Like you're actually happening right now. Okay? And that is the secret of creation. Now, this secret works precisely because two things cannot occupy a given place at one and the same time. That's it. Like as a law of this physical expression. Two things. You were born saying that. You've grown up saying that. You know what happens when um you have, let's say you have a bag and you pack all sorts of clothes in it. Let's say you're traveling. You pack all your clothes into it and then the bag is full. And you give it to your mommy to pack for you. Okay. And your mommy repacks it for you so that she actually packs like 15 more clothes into it after you thought it was full. Okay. Okay. And then she packs like 15 more clothes into it for you. But now the bag is full, like mommy packs full. There's no more space in it. What do? You just can't have another cloth in it. Well, you know what you do? You get another bag, right? It's like you actually know this particular rule, and it's a very important rule. Two things don't occupy a given place at one and the same time. And you want to understand this. Like, if this particular thing is occupying this particular place at this particular time, it is there and nothing else. It is there. So, if I want the mansion to occupy um, this particular place at this particular time, then the mansion is there and nothing else is there. And I won't see anything else in that my environment, just that mansion. Even though at the moment that's not the physical environment, I mean, I'm going to imagine it is where I am actually at. And remember, all I have to feel is the actuality. Yeah, but let's go on and see that. Your consciousness is the cause of your world. The conscious state in which you abide determines the kind of world in which you live. Your present concept of yourself is now objectified. So if you're looking at your environment right now, it is literally your present concept objectified. It's not happening unless it's your current concept. So if it's happening, no matter what you think you're imagining, no matter how much you think you've imagined, no matter how big you think your imagining is, or how intense, or whatever else, just go, that's my present concept. But I'm gonna change it. Not for long. It's just it's been my present concept, that's fine. But I am going to change it now because I'm going to embrace Jacob now and clothe him in that skin of actuality. That which you would like to be or possess is symbolized as your second son, Jacob, who is not yet seen, but is subjectively sensed and felt, and will, if properly touched, supplant his brother Esau or your present world, and then become the new thing occupying. And like we said, two things cannot occupy the same place at the same time. They could occupy in different times, but not at the same time. And they could have occupied different places in a particular time, but not the same place at the same time. Okay? Now, bear in mind that the father, Isaac, is actually blind. He does not see the smooth skinned son. He only feels him. Again, we're looking at feeling now, and we're getting to the secret now, the secret of feeling. So you do not see your desire objectively, and that's fine. And I want you all to have a desire right now that you're going to practice here with. Have a desire right now that you're going to practice with. Okay? Just form your desire. Know whatever it is you want. You want something? Know it. I want this particular thing. I want to have this thing. I want to be this person. Okay? Just know it. Now, listen to this. You do not see your desire objectively. Fine. I'm Isaac. I don't have to see it objectively. I'm blind. I'm okay with it. Okay. Okay. Right. So, fine. It's not here in my physical world. Do you know what? What has actually stopped you from imagining it before was you were continually reacting to the fact that it's not there physically yet. And you were going something like, it should be there. Why isn't it there yet? Like someone owed it to you. Like God ought to know that you need it or that you're meant to have it and he's meant to have given it to you, but he hasn't, and that's unfair. Or whatever else. Okay. Listen and
Do
listen
that again
attentively.
out of Larry. That was hilarious. I get it.
Like I need this thing, it's not there. Oh my goodness, imagine it's not there yet. Okay, okay, it's not there. That's fine, but you don't have to react to it like, yeah, well, God ought to know that I need it. That it's very important to me. It's a life or death matter or anything. Okay, the only reason you've actually not dedicatedly imagined the result is because you're trying to see it objectively there before you go on to imagine it feelingly. You want the outcome before you imagine the outcome. And that's a break of the law, which can't possibly happen. That's the point. So it's totally fine if you do not see the desire objectively, okay? But you know what you've got to do with it? You simply sense it, that is, feel it subjectively, okay? Do you get this? You do not see it objectively, that's fine, but you sense it subjectively. Now, what do you mean you do not see it objectively? Another way Neville is describing it. You do not grow up in space after a desirable state. Now, I've written about this a number of times. Like, do nothing, no action, okay? Don't try to, like, run after it. Like, yeah, I've got to get it. Just relax. And then imagine the thing subjectively. You don't grow up in space after a desirable state. Okay? Don't haunt your dreams. And I promise you, they're there. They're not there to haunt you. Okay? Your dreams are actually there to be nightmares and haunt you and make you feel um, exhausted or empty or anything else that you might have felt from trying so hard to get them. They're actually there to inspire you to break free from the current concept of yourself. And it's if you have a wrong approach to it, though, a wrong attitude to it, you think they're there to like torment you, and they are not. And a lot of people run away or shy away from their desires because they think the desires are there to torment them. They aren't. So don't grow up in space after it. You need more than space anyway. You need both the space and the time. And that's it. That's the only time when two things cannot occupy the same place. So if your subjective state is occupying a point in space and time, then your current objective state cannot possibly be there at the same time. Do you understand? You need that anyway. So, like Isaac, you sit still and send your first son hunting by removing your attention from your objective world. And now we see why Esau, the objective world, is first mentioned in this story. Like Isaac, you sit still and send your first son hunting by removing, like remove, take it away, removing your attention from your objective world. Okay, let me tell you this. I assure you, I promise you that your objective world will not collapse into um actually don't let me promise you that because it will. I wanted to say it will not collapse into nothingness. But yeah, if you remove your attention from it, it will. It eventually will. Which is exactly the point. So let me phrase it this way. I assure you that you're just going to accomplish exactly what you intend to accomplish. So don't be scared. Have courage to withdraw your attention. The reason you don't want to withdraw your attention is because you don't want to lose two ways. Like, okay, you know what, Delary? I want to imagine myself having the house, the car, the life. I want to take my attention away from the physical world, but that's the only thing I have right now. I am holding on to it. My friends, they all know me that I don't have a house. And if I imagine that I have a house now and I take my attention away from the house that I currently live in, then they won't know me in it anymore. Relax. That's exactly what you want to achieve, isn't it? You want them to know you in a different way. Like you can't occupy the two things at the same time. You can't occupy the being happy and unhappy at the same time. And you're like, you're an unhappy person right now. And you're like, okay, you know what? Everyone knows me as unhappy, and I want to take my attention away from that. Now they won't know me that way anymore. Now I can't even feel whole being unhappy. Like I can't feel the same person because I can't be unhappy because my attention is not there because I've withdrawn it when I sat still to do that exercise you asked us to do. Well, isn't that exactly what you want? Like for it to go and the new thing to come? So don't be scared that you're going to lose it. You're not really losing anything. It's the thing that's going to go anyway. That's the price you've got to pay. That's the thing that's got to send it on an errand. And when it comes back, you just tell it, oh, so sorry, you're late, man. I already gave the blessing to your brother. This subjective state. So yeah, if you withdraw your attention, I assure you, you're going to lose the outer world that you currently know. Um, I think maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I went out with my wife and we went to get something in town. Oh, yeah, I think we had a buffet. Yeah. Anyway, we're coming back and we're driving past this particular neighborhood. It's Ashibodija. It's not far from our place right now. Not really far from our place. But as we were passing by, we just talked about the one time about 2 or 3 years ago that we were looking for an apartment and we saw this nice apartment there, 3 bedroom. We wanted 3 bedroom, and it's like the last floor of a 3 story building or maybe a 2 story building, and that was cool for us. Like yeah, last floor. And then we were told just that afternoon as we're taking interest in it, we're like, yeah, we're ready to go for this. We're told that some people got it. We went, now, let me tell you, of the truth, I actually didn't want to get it because I don't like the number of stairs you've got to go, and it didn't have an elevator. I don't like the number of stairs you've got to go. Okay. And I don't want that for my wife. And I just also wondered, I love family visiting, my parents, my sisters, her family. And I don't know how I'm going to cope with this much now elderly people, folks that we've got. Like, now they're becoming grandparents, right? I don't know how I'm going to cope with them having to climb up and down this number of stairs. I really didn't want it. But here's the thing. We actually liked the house itself, the apartment itself. It was the best thing we ever saw at the price that we wanted to get. That the price that we could manage. Not the price we were willing to spend, but that we could manage. And we laughed because we realized we didn't get that. And it wasn't the end of the world because we in fact got what we dreamt of getting. And then we moved from the place that we were to an even more prestigious place. And now, if you ask us where we stay and we mention this particular area that we live in, Anyone who hears it just go, wow. Okay. If you come visiting us, you're going to totally love it. Like, wow, what an estate. Some people even go, this part exists in this city? Yeah, it does. It does. Now, the thing is, much as we wanted it, like, yeah, and we thought that was the physical environment that we had. Our objective manifestation at the time was to think that was the best we could get. It was a part of our current objective manifestation at that time. I withdrew my attention from it when I was ready for us to actually move into the house we wanted. The house we eventually moved into at that period literally appeared a day, a day after I imagined it. Because we wanted to move and we're imagining moving. I was imagining moving, but I didn't specify with all the details I wanted. I didn't define it. So when the last one failed, and we're like, oh, this is such a disappointment. I didn't even take any, I just went, okay, well, they did what they did, and that's fine. But here, I'm going to imagine what I want. And I remember myself walking into the Willows that afternoon and sitting down with my book in front of me. Then I decided, what exactly do I want? And I listed everything down. Said, okay, all of these things I've compromised on before because of cost, because of this or that, or the urgency for us to move. But now I'm not going to compromise on any of these things anymore. I'm going to imagine this particular house is there and that we moved into it and that we live in this particular neighborhood. Now imagine that. And then it came out that, I think it came out that same day. Oh no, the day after. The day after, yeah. It came out the day after and we got it that same day after. But we could only occupy one point in space and time, and we did. And I want you to understand that. Oh, by the way, this doesn't mean that you can only have one thing, one good thing, like you can only have one car. No. Okay, it doesn't mean that. It means like if you want to have 10 cars, then there could only be 10 cars, okay, space at that particular point in time in your life. If you like to have 50 cars, then there could only be 50 cars space at that particular point in time in your life. Okay? Now, in the absence of your first son, Esau, you invite the desirable state. Your second son, you invite it to come in. Come close that may fill you. And this is, in fact, the secret of filling, the coming close. Did you remember we saw something of that in our lesson yesterday? To feel the presence, right, of the thing, a state by impressing upon yourself through feeling. That's it. So the ability to feel the unseen, to actualize and make real a definite subjective state. Presence, feeling the unseen, and making it real. Let's look at it all play out again in this secret. Now you take your objective first. You're aware of it in your immediate environment. Hold on. This is not the same immediate environment that you just look at right now. I told you some minutes back. Look at your immediate environment. Before you, behind you, around you. Look at it very well. Look at it closely. Look at it and go, this is where I am right now. This point in space and time. This present moment. This immediate environment. That's your Esau, right? Now you close your eyes, you sit still, and then you send that on an errand, like you send it away. And you do that by simply withdrawing your attention away from it with your eyes closed, completely forgetting that you are in that particular present environment that you sat in to close your eyes. Completely forgetting you're there. Completely forgetting the things that are currently there that either say you don't have your wish fulfilled or say you can't have your wish fulfilled. Completely forgetting all of it. That's withdrawing your attention. You bring the the subjective states, the thing desired, you bring it to your immediate environment, to your awareness. You bring it to your awareness. How? First, that's number one. You're aware of it in your immediate environment. Oh. So when you close your eyes and you send away everything around you, first become aware of it in your immediate environment. That thing you say you want, become aware of it as if it's like surrounding you. Then you draw it closer. So then that's number 2. You draw it closer and closer and closer until, when do you stop drawing it closer? Well, until you sense it and feel it in your immediate presence. So hold on, it's in my environment. Like, okay, it's in the same space as I am. We're together. All right. I can close my eyes and relax and sit down and see it before me. It's like it's in my environment. I can tell, yeah, let's say it's a grand piano. And I can see now that the grand piano is like it's sitting there, it's in that corner. Now I bring it closer and closer and closer. So meaning every time that I reiterate the image, I don't see it in that corner like that. Remember, I am that. That means aware of. You picture it. It's independent of you. It's something that looks like it is separate from you. Now I don't see it that like it's that's it over there. No, every time I reiterate the picture, it's closer to me. I'm closer to it. It's closer to me. I'm closer to it. So if it can't move from that corner, fine. Then that means I am going to be myself in that corner with it. Say it's in my immediate presence. And I am in that corner with it. If it's the garage, I'd like to have 50 cars in it. And I close my eyes. So I send the one car away. Okay. And then I imagine that in fact there are 50 cars there. And in closing my eyes, 50 cars. But it's in my immediate environment, 50 cars. I'm like, oh yeah, it's there. Now I bring myself closer to it. Closer and closer and closer. Closer and closer and closer until I feel its immediate presence. Like I am right in the middle of these 50 cars. That's its immediate presence. So that it is real and what? Natural. Well, now, what is natural again? Warmth. Real and natural to you. So we have a quote here. If two of you shall agree on earth as touching on any point that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. Now, what are the two that have to agree? The two agree through the sense of feel, and the agreement is established on earth, is objectified, is made real. The two are agreeing are you, Isaac, and your desired state, Jacob. And the agreement is made solely on the sense of feeling. Now, let's say the secret, this number 1 and 2, in an expanded format. This is it expanded. Hold on a minute. Okay, this is the expanded. Now, I think we're going to have to do another round of this chapter. Okay. And I don't want us to alter the schedule that we have at the moment anymore. So we might make a Friday, like maybe this coming Friday, or an extra day in this week. I'll let you know. We might make an extra day in this week for us to cover this particular chapter properly. But let's look at that particular 1 and 2 expanded. Number 1, feel the nearness of it. Oh, let's take it from here. In your imagination, see the thing desired. That's you picturing it. That's okay. You picture it clearly. Okay? If you can't picture it like in a very clear, sharp manner, then sense the general outline of it. At least one of those two. Okay? Then mentally draw it close to you. Imagine yourself like that ancient of days. Okay? That Isaac. You're not going to walk across space and time to meet it. So you're going to bring it close to you. If that closeness is to mean that you and it are coming in close contact, like if that's to mean that instead of you seeing yourself on the far end of the room, sitting across it, that instead of that, you're halfway to it and then you're sitting by it. Well, then let that be the closeness. If the closeness is that it's going to be by you in that corner that you are sitting, well, let that be the closeness. You could even make the closeness something like this, like you're already sitting where the grand piano would be. But first, you picture the grand piano, like, yeah, grand piano. Then next, you picture the grand piano is in the same room as you. Like, oh, yeah, I'm in this corner and the grand piano is there. It doesn't have to be that you are sitting in that corner physically, okay? No, you don't have to. You may even be at work while you're imagining that your immediate environment is at home because you've sent the immediate environment of work away. Okay? Okay? You've sent the immediate environment of work away. So you could be at work and picture that the immediate environment is in fact that you are at home. And then you picture your grand piano. Now, you could be in the corner where you would like it to be. You're already seated there. You're sitting on the piano chair there. Now, you bring it close to you and close to you until it is right in front of you in your immediate presence. So draw it close to you. How do you draw it close to you? Feel the nearness of it. It's near you. Then feel it to be in your immediate presence. That's number two. So you've seen number one and number two before. Like, okay, the piano is right in front of me. Now, number three, feel the reality and solidity of it. How do you feel the reality and solidity of it? Touch it. That's how. That's exactly what Isaac did. Look at it here. Let me just highlight it. 1 minute, 1 minute. I'm looking for where it says touch, but when we go over this again, we're going to find it actually. But it's touch. That's how you make it feel real to you, real and vivid. The touch sensation. So I'm looking for that. It is in this particular text, but we skipped some parts to get to this expansion. So when we go over it again, we're going to find it there. All right. So you touch it. That's how you feel the reality and solidity of it. That's number three. Okay, number three. So number one, nearness of it. It's near you. Number two, the immediate presence. All right. And then number three, the reality and solidity of it. Now, what's number four? Feel. Feel and see it naturally placed in the room in which you are seated. So, like I said, don't grope, like, don't run after it in space. Don't think you have to go somewhere. Don't think you have to meet some people. You have to run. No. How? Just make it be in the same place that you are. Interesting. Very interesting. Let me tell you just how interesting this is. Let's say you'd like to have a meeting with the president. The obvious logical thing, okay, for you to think is that you have to go all the way to White House and walk into the president's office to have the meeting with him, right? If that's you like to have a meeting with the president of your country, okay? Of my country, I'll go all the way to Hasselrock, okay? Now you can imagine it that way, and that would be you still groping after it in space. Really, it would be. Or you could imagine what with your eyes closed, you could suddenly make your immediate environment be that you are in the Oval office or Oval Room, okay, the office of the president himself. That you are there, that you are seated there already. Walking down there, getting there by helicopter, flying down there with anything. You are already seated. You're seated, in fact. And the president, okay, is near you, number one. And then he's in your immediate presence, number two. Like you can see him before you like this. He's near you, he's in the room. Now you can see him before you. You've brought him closer and closer and closer. And then you can have a handshake with him. Like that's the reality and solidity. You're having a handshake with him. Okay? The reality and solidity. And he is naturally placed in the same room as you are. So it's not like you are naturally placed in the same room as it is. No, it is naturally placed in the same room as you are. Do you understand the direction that I'm pointing at here? Do you really get the direction? Okay? It's not that is that you are in the same room as it is. No, he is in the same room as you are because you sent your current immediate environment away. Esau, you sent it away. That's the first thing you did. Very first thing you did. You sent it away by withdrawing your attention. then wherever you decide that you are is really where you are. And wherever you are in imagination, there you'll be in the flesh also. Now, that's number 4. Okay, mind you, there is one more. And then you feel the thrill of actual accomplishment and the joy of possession. That's number 5. Like oh yeah, meeting the president. Now, you see, that is the final thing you want to feel. The minute you feel that, it is done. It is done. But we still have something more to learn from this text. And I am looking at it could be tomorrow. So because I want us to be able to practice it before our next call. So it could be tomorrow, that is Monday, or it could be Friday, or you could all just text me and maybe just let me have like 2 or 3 people put in the group. Which day is the most suitable for you to have another call on chapter 4? Because we want to look at how to do it with very specific days. Look at it. If Sunday is the day, how to do it with very specific times. If it's morning, how to do it with very specific locations. And how to do it with very specific objects and even people. Okay? So we want to learn how to do that. And then I'll leave you, I'll have you apply it to your desire that you formed at the beginning of this call. Okay. But at the moment, do we have any question? Monday after our trillionaire call. Oh, yes, you can send physical sensations away to, yeah. But remember, sending them away is simply taking your attention from them. So if you're like having to go, physical sensation, come on, go away, man, go away, give me some time. Nah, that's not it. Okay. Because the purpose of the relaxing and sitting still is to withdraw your attention from those, not to, argue with them on, come on, man. I just need to I need 5 minutes to imagine. Do you understand? Just come on, shh, shh, shh. And maybe you're hearing the buzzing of maybe the door. Someone is at the door and ringing, and you have someone who wants to pick it, right? Attend to it, but you're going, shh, come on, Gears, could you just turn up? It's not about that. You could in fact have the loudest music in the room, and you could have the harshest temperature around you, but you withdraw your attention from all of them. Meaning, at the point in time that you are imagining, these things don't seem to bother you. They don't seem to matter to you. That's the point. They don't matter. You're not concerned with them at all. Okay? All right. So, yes, you can send them away to, yeah, Ashley, that's right. This is very practical. Touch the president. Beautiful. Yeah. I feel more confidence in me as I listen to this. Great, Scott. Great. Um, So Scott is saying Monday after our trillionaire call. Yeah, actually, I can make that time, but can everyone here do? That is 3 p.m. West African time tomorrow. If that works, it could also be, well, 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm meant to be engaged, but I'm willing to let it go for us to have the call if everyone is going to be there. So which one works? Just let me know on the chat on WhatsApp. So let's take our time to mention it on the chat on WhatsApp. Oh, okay. All right, Ashley. Yeah, the replays are there. So you made the time that way. All right. So I'll see you all. Okay, then I think if one more person agrees to Monday after trillionaire call, we can just simply go. I'll see you tomorrow after the trillionaire call, in the afternoon. Not my afternoon. Okay, good. So see you all then for the second part of this chapter. Bye bye.